Have you ever imagined a world where dinosaurs were never wiped out? Where, instead of mammals dominating the planet, it was the giant reptiles that continued to evolve, spreading across the Earth. And maybe, one day, developing intelligence? That there's evidence some dinosaurs already showed surprising cognitive traits in that, if given time, they might have developed their own civilization? It sounds like science fiction, I know. But what if I told you that this idea is actually grounded in real science? Today, we're going to dive into an alternate universe one, where the meteor never hit Earth. It's an evolutionary response to the environment, to challenges, to the need for adaptation. And that changes everything about how we see ourselves. A world where dinosaurs kept evolving, and maybe became the true rulers of the planet. But why does this topic matter to you? Because the birds we know today are technically surviving dinosaurs. They were Earth's undisputed rulers long before mammals took their first quiet steps in the shadows. Then, 66 million years ago, a 10-kilometer-wide asteroid crashed into Earth. The impact changed the global climate, wiped out over 75% of species, and ended the dinosaurs' reign. Developing rudimentary language, living in organized groups, hunting cooperatively, developing culture. Beings that build shelters, cultivate food, harness fire, create tools, maybe even science and technology. Some criticized it for being too anthropocentric, but his point was deeper. Intelligence is a real evolutionary possibility, not something exclusive to Homo sapiens, because it helps us understand something fundamental. Intelligence is not a human privilege. For 165 million years, dinosaurs ruled the planet. What if dinosaurs kept evolving? Large mammals might have never evolved. Lions, elephants, gorillas, maybe none of them would exist. Or rather, most of them. But imagine if the meteor missed. Among all known species, one stood out. The Trudon, but not inevitable. It could have all been different. Very different. Small, bipedal, with sharp claws, forward-facing eyes, and a surprisingly large brain for its size. And maybe even made a video like this one. What kind of thinking would they develop? Would they be like us? Would they have emotions, consciousness? Maybe they'd exploit the planet sustainably, or worse than us? Many paleontologists consider it the most intelligent dinosaur ever discovered. It showed social behavior, spatial memory, and advanced sensory skills. That would completely change how they interact with the world and each other. How would that shape their culture? Would they resolve conflicts through dialogue and cooperation? Or would brute strength still dominate? Now picture this, the Trudon, or its descendants, survive, thrive, and undergo millions of years of evolution. Instead of mammals, it's them who adapt to changing environments, solve problems, form complex social structures, and develop new skills. How a single event like an asteroid impact can change the planet's history. Unlike ours based on metal and electricity, maybe theirs would be rooted in biotechnology, using organic materials like tough scales, venom, or regenerative properties to build tools and machines. Over time, maybe they start using objects to solve tasks, manipulating stones or sticks. And here begins an evolutionary spiral, similar to our primate ancestors. With 66 million more years of development, we can imagine bipedal creatures with articulated hands, stereoscopic vision, and brains comparable to modern humans. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss our next explorations. Paleontologist Dale Russell even proposed a visual hypothesis: the Dinosauroid, a Trudon descendant with humanoid features. Now stop and think. What would Earth look like today if these beings ruled the world? Biodiversity would be completely different. Humans, if we even emerged, would have to compete with a rival civilization, a reptilian one. This dinoid society could have completely different values and behaviors. Maybe more cooperative, or more aggressive. Would they develop religion, art, war? Would they have satellites orbiting Earth now, or space probes exploring Mars, using technology based on natural materials and scales? Or maybe they would have clashed with our ancestors, stopping our evolution as a dominant species altogether. These questions may sound like fantasy, but they're a powerful lens to understand our own journey. Because if intelligence is just one of many evolutionary outcomes, and not a divine miracle, then our emergence is just one possible path life could have taken. We're special. Yes. and that's a profound lesson. It reminds us how fragile everything is. It also shows how creative, resilient, and full of possibilities life really is. Dinosaurs, in their vast diversity, might have been just the beginning of something much bigger. Maybe given more time, they would have developed abstract thinking, art, philosophy, looked up at the stars, asked questions. Let's explore how dinosaur intelligence could differ from our own. Recent studies suggest some dinosaurs already exhibited complex social behavior and possibly self-awareness. That means they might have had emotions and deep social bonds, perhaps even empathy. Imagine a society where emotional intelligence was as important as logic. Also, consider their superior sensory abilities. Many dinosaurs had far better senses than we: night vision, keen smell, sharp hearing. We also need to imagine the technology they might create. And finally, think about the implications for our own existence. In this alternate world, would Homo sapiens even exist? Or would we have coexisted, maybe even been dominated or allied with a reptilian civilization? If intelligent dinosaurs ruled Earth, what would our place be? And what does that tell us about fate, evolution, and our role on this planet? If you enjoyed this deep dive into an alternate timeline where intelligent dinosaurs could have ruled the planet, don't forget to like this video and drop a comment below. Do you think a dinosaur civilization could have existed? What do you think it would have been like? Your thoughts might inspire a future episode. Thanks for watching all the way to the end, and I'll see you in the next journey into science. Curiosity and the infinite possibilities of life on Earth.